So, hi, I'm KB with Nerdophiles. How are each of you?
Doing
Really
amazing.
good.
Oh my goodness. What a great show. Like, truly, it took me on a journey. Truly, I was like, there are so many twists and turns in this, but I appreciate that about a real Southern drama. So, my first question is for all three of you, but I can start with you, Jasmine, to answer first. So, for all of you, what do you think is kind of the greatest lesson that each of your characters learns kind of through this sisterhood and this bond that the three of you have? And again, I'll start with you, Jasmine, to talk about the greatest lesson Keisha learns from this sisterhood first.
I think what Keisha learns, her greatest lesson is that history doesn't really determine much. They have been best friends since childhood, and now that they're kind of newly adults, they're realizing that they don't really have much in common anymore. And Keisha is just trying to hold on to something that might be holding her back.
Okay, I love that answer. And for you, Ashanti, what do you feel like is the greatest lesson that, Ty learns from this sisterhood?
I think that Ty is struggling for one, but I think the greatest lesson that she learns is that no matter what, you have to be honest with yourself and with the friends around you. That's the only way that you can get, the things you want and to where you're trying to go is to she learns to be honest.
Okay, and last but certainly not least, Asia, for Fran, what is the greatest lesson that she learns through this sisterhood?
I think the biggest lesson that Francis learned from the sisterhood is being grounded and not getting caught up in what she got to do and like what's going on around her, and that anything worth having, like you really got to work hard for it. And like any easy way out is just going, it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, that is truly the lesson that Fran learns. It's never that easy, okay? So I'm gonna kick it back to you, Jasmine. Keisha is filled with grief, and it really seems like at the center of that is her dad. So how does Keisha's relationship with her father kind of expand and shift as season one continues? And how does Keisha kind of continue to learn how to cope with Rome's death? Because I think that that really sets everything off for her.
So Keisha is learning that she has to let it go. Rome is gone. He's not coming back. And so she is sorry, Alexa thought we were talking to her. Um, yeah, she's learning that she has to let go. I think that's kind of the theme of a lot of things. She's trying to hold on to this fake persona that she has of her father as well, and she needs to let that go because he's not who she wants him to be. And same like with her friends.
That's true. He definitely is not who she wants him to be, but
No.
I don't think he's who anyone thinks he is supposed to be, kind of at
Oh
this point.
Mhm.
I think her father is on a journey of his own. Okay.
no, journey of his
Yeah,
own is great.
yeah,
A great way
for
to put
sure.
it.
Okay, and for you, Ashanti, at the heart of everything that Ty does, it's really for Deja. It's really for her daughter, but she also
Mhm.
doesn't want to lose herself or her dreams. So, how
Right.
does Ty kind of continue to balance motherhood, kind of with the pursuit of her dreams, but always making sure that Deja feels supported through it all?
This one is pretty much trials and error because she's trying something and it may not work, and then she goes to try a different avenue and it may or may not work. And she's trying these things to get to where she wants to be, but still, like I know on the other side, I still have to be a mom. I still have to make sure Deja's cared for. And so it's just trial and error with trying to figure out how to parent and chase your dream at the same time.
Yeah, and she definitely goes through a lot of trials
Yeah.
and definitely learns kind of the hard way, which is unfortunate because I'm like, "Oh, girl, just be a mom." Like if you focus on I feel like if she focuses on Deja, everything else may fall into place. You know what I mean? Like in a lot of ways.
I mean, it could, but it's like, yeah, just focus on being a mom, but then I lose myself. You know what
Yep, that's
I'm
true.
saying? So it's tough.
It's tough. It's a tough balance.
Hmm.
And for you, Asia, Fran is a great chef. She has all of these culinary aspirations, but she just kind of gets in with the wrong crowd. And to be fair, I don't judge her because she's like, I need the capital to be able to do all of the things that I need to do to be a chef. So, talk a little bit about how, her journey through a life of crime, so to speak, impacts her relationship, with her grandfather, because that is her person. And really, she's in a lot of ways, she's doing a lot of things for him. But I don't know that he would be pleased if he found out everything that, Fran is doing in the streets.
I would have to say, like, this is a very common thing in Memphis. Like, people want to walk the straight and narrow, want
Mhm.
to be a law-abiding citizen, but like, dang, the job ain't paying me enough. Like, dang, I gotta do this and that. So people might pick up a little extra side hustle, whether it's legal or not. But I think she doesn't want to let her granddad down because she knows her granddad really believes in her dream and what she wants to do. But also she like, I'm still Francis. I gotta get mine too, which is a very slippery slope to be walking.
And yes, now I have to ask a follow up to that. How does this impact? Her brother kind of comes back strong. They're very strong, and
Mhm.
trying to strong arm their grandfather into really doing what he wants him to do. So, how does it? They already have a strained relationship, but I do think that they both love their grandfather just in very different ways. So, how
Mhm.
does this impact kind of their sibling dynamic as well? With the brother coming back in and trying to, I don't want to say manipulate grandpa, but sort of manipulate him.
Yeah, I feel like Francis's brother is like a reflection of everything that she's not. Like he
Mm.
made it out the hood. He's doing, great things in life. Like he got a better paying job and stuff. So I feel like in a way, like Francis is like really intimidated by that, but kind of admire that in a way because she wants to get to that position to be able to help her granddad. But she's just so small minded and being caught up in like being from Memphis and being from the hood and stuff like that, that maybe she just don't got the confidence to believe that she can do something bigger.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I have to ask the three of you, and I can start with you, Jasmine, and answer first again. Just how did your own kind of dynamic growing up influence your portrayals of these particular characters? So, how did growing up influence Keisha for you, Jasmine?
Growing up influenced Keisha for me because we have a lot of the same upbringings as far as like her love for roller skating and roller skating being her outlet for a lot of things. I also experienced grief with guys that I were dating as well when I was growing up, twice actually. So that was very familiar with me. And a strange relationship with my dad as well was a common factor. So Keisha in a lot of ways is or was Jasmine actually.
Ooh, okay. Well, I am sorry to hear about your past partners.
Yes.
But hopefully Keisha provided a little bit of healing, being able
A
to
lot of
live in
healing,
them.
a lot of healing, a lot of therapeutic scenes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And what about for you, Ashanti? How did your upbringing kind of inform your portrayal of Ty?
Well, to be honest, I start to relate to Ty more so once I had my daughter. I feel like once I had my daughter River, that's where Ashanti and Ty kind of meet. Once I had my daughter, I same as Ty started doing any and everything, not anything, not too much, but
Right.
I, I started hustling and having multiple jobs to make ends meet to pay the bills. Um, I think that in that way we start to relate in the same because Ty will do anything for Deja and Ashanti will do anything for River, and that's just what it is. The next thing that makes me relate to Ty is that I'm actually about to start nursing school. So,
Oh,
you know, Ty and
yes.
Ashanti are both about to be, well, I don't know about that, but Ashanti is about to be a nurse.
Said Ashanti's going to go further than Ty.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
going to be a nurse. So, oh,
absolutely.
congrats. Yes. And for you, Asia, how did your upbringing inform how you portrayed Fran
Well, of course, I'm from
from Memphis?
Memphis.
Right.
But I did grow up with one of my grandparents. I grew up with my grandma. My grandma helped raise me for a good portion of my life. Like me and my sister, we didn't get along for a good portion of my life. Like when I was younger, getting caught up in my environment, doing little stuff here and there. So I feel like Francis kind of reflects the younger, not so mature version of Asia.
Okay, okay. And so my last question, listen, everything ended on a wild cliffhanger. We got the introduction of a brand new character, so many things went left. I have to ask for season 2, what is like your absolute kind of, I think, dream storyline for each of your characters for season 2? And I can start with you again, first, Jasmine.
I want Keisha to make it to LA.
Yeah.
I want her to make it to LA and I want her to be able to truly thrive in what she loves, and that's doing her. I want that for her so bad. Celebrity her.
Okay, okay. What about you, Ashanti? What do we hope for Ty? What's that dream storyline for Ty in season 2?
I'm hoping that Ty actually does become this model that she wants to become, and and be humble about it, but then remember the people who laughed at her in that first audition scene. They laughed at her, but then she became, way bigger than what anybody thought she was. And along with Deja, she's taking Deja along with her, and she doesn't need anybody else.
Yes. I just hope she gets her stuff back. I said, no, wait a
Yeah,
minute. They got
yeah.
my girl down bad. I hope she get her stuff back. Okay. And last but not least for you, Asia, what do you hope for, dream storyline with Fran? Because Fran is in a predicament and she got to make some hard choices at the end of season 1.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really have any like dream storyline, like anything that's gonna happen. Like I'm with it, whether it's like the worst extreme or like the best extreme. Like either way, like I think it's just gonna be fun to watch.
Ooh, you know what? I like that. A little bit of chaos. You say, you know
Yeah,
what? She could go toe to toe with the pastor if it comes down to it.
you know what I'm saying? Love room for the underdog.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you guys so much for taking the time to chat with Nerdophiles. I really enjoyed this series. I'm rooting for you all for season 2, season 3, season 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Amen.
And you know what, Ashanti, I also work in healthcare. So shout out to us who can be creative and also, do it on the other side too. So, yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Well, have a great day and thanks so much.
Thank
Thank
you. You
you.
too.
Bye.